Car road trips are one of the most fun ways of getting around when traveling. But what's the best number of people for a car road trip in one car? Well, let's explore that, shall we? Hey, what's up, World Wide Web? Welcome back to the channel where we explore my mind and explore the world. In today's video, I'll be talking about what is the best number of people to have in one car for a car road trip. Let's just take the typical sedan or hatchback, which seats 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. How many people do you take on this road trip? Well, let's say you're going from Toronto to Montreal, or if you're in the States, let's say you're going from Boston to Washington. Toronto to Montreal is probably about a 6-hour drive, and Boston to Washington can range somewhere around 8 hours. Now, you could do either of these road trips by yourself, but rest assured, you're not going to get any rest. Assured. I mean, it's great if you want to take a solo trip just by yourself and see the open road. You feel free until 3 hours kicks in and you just really want to sleep and your eyelids are struggling to stay open. A one-person road trip might work. It's not necessarily the most optimal number for a road trip. If you have 2 people in a road trip, it's great. Let's say you want to have a road trip with your mom or your dad or your brother or your sister, your best friend. It's some great bonding time. And lots of couples do this too. You hear about these older couples who rent an RV and then they just road trip off. You can do the same thing with a sedan. But the problem lies in when they fall asleep, you're still at the wheel, trying to stay awake. But it still is better than just one person because you can still switch drivers with them and then you can take a nap. If you have 3 people in a car, then you can have one person driving, one person navigating in the side seat, and one person at the back. The good thing about 3 people is if you have 2 people in the front and one person in the back, if you ever need to sleep in your car for one night, you can have the 2 people in the front recline their chairs and the person in the back just lie down. In a pinch, it's sort of great. And you get to have 3 people in one car, so you get to have a lot more conversation, but the thing is, it's not as cheap as if you were to say split with 5 people. Now, if you were to have 4 people in your car for your road trip, each person has their own little corner, and you get to split the gas even more, which makes it even cheaper for each person. But like I said, each person gets their own little corner. It's not the most ideal situation, but it'll still work if you want to go from Boston to Washington or Toronto to Montreal. If you want to, let's say, travel the entire Trans-Canada Highway with 4 people, I'm not sure if you want to do that. And if you travel with 5 people, well, it's gonna get pretty claustrophobic. The upside is that you get to split the costs even more, so it's even cheaper for each person, and it's cheaper than if you were to get 2 separate cars, but it's just so cramped and uncomfortable. And if you're going on a road trip, I don't really know how much space you will have for 5 people's luggage. I can't really see anyone wanting to drive more than 2 hours or 3 hours with 5 people in their sedan. So which one is the best? Well, it depends. It's up for you to decide which one is the best for the road trip that you want to take, depending on how far you want to go, what you want to accomplish with the road trip. But my opinion on the most optimal number of people in a car road trip is 3 people. Like I said earlier, with 3 people you can split the gas 3 different ways for each person, so it's cheaper than if you were to go yourself. I went to PEI with 2 of my friends in one sedan. It was great because it was 3 people. If we ever needed to, we could just fold down the 2 chairs and then have one person in the back lie down on the chairs at the back. And we had 3 drivers, so we could each rotate when one of us got tired. If I were to want to go on some epic road trip, like let's say the entire Trans-Canada Highway from Vancouver to St. John, I would want to do it with 2 other people, maybe 3 other people if it's a big enough car. But that's just my opinion on this. I'd like to hear what you guys think about this. What would your optimal number for a road trip be with your friends? And if you like this video, you can share it with your friends who you want to go on a cross-country road trip with maybe 1 other person or 2 other people. And if you really like my content, you can hit subscribe to be notified of when my next video is, which is next Thursday. But that is all for now, and until then, go explore something.